This time I started off trying to see if I was able to do anything with just the empty bar for overhead presses, but it wasn't really feeling too great, so I decided to downsize to dumbbells again. This allows me to move my arms more freely and hopefully find a better position that allows me to get into full extension of the shoulder. It's sped up a bit because the movement was very slow. I had to control it in a way that did not give me any pain or maybe just a slight annoyance. If I can manage to do the movement very slowly, I can basically deactivate the muscle in the rotator cuff that is very tense and basically tell it that it's okay to go up and not to constantly contract. But if I go slightly faster, I noticed that it just contracts straight away as just like a reflex, and that's what I was trying to avoid. And while I was there, I was also doing some work for my wrist, which is also not feeling the greatest, even though I have not done any handstands for about a week now. But this was just the small circuit that I was running for my couple of injuries. And after that, I was doing some pull-ups. I wanted to test if any my pull-up variations were going to be affected, and I noticed that they weren't really at all. This reminds me of the previous time that I had this issue on my left shoulder, and I was able to do pull-ups quite easily without any pain. It's weird how the reverse movement, which should still place a bit of a stretch on that muscle in the rotator cuff, because the scapula is moving when I'm doing the pull-ups, is not really affected in this way. It's great. I can still do something. And lower body wise, I was trying to do a few squats, but I noticed that I still felt a bit of a pain in my adductors from the lunges that I did now 3 days before this session. And also the back rack position is giving me an annoyance in the rotator cuff. So the only lower body exercise that I could do without any sort of issue was the deadlift. I still took it slightly easier because I was fasting again, and I decided to go for triples at 75% of what is my max the last time that I did a 1 rep max. So I took 120 kilos for 3 sets of 3, and they all felt good. It went up smoothly. I wasn't using any wraps, even though the last 2 sets I was feeling maybe it was slightly slipping from my grip on the last repetition. But I believe that this was a decent effort. I think that if I'm not gonna do triples at 75%, I may do a ramp up to whatever I feel on that day, and deadlift is definitely something that I can keep doing even now that I'm a bit injured, so that's great to know. Ciao.